Anti-cop protests got taken to a whole new level over the weekend in New York City. Take a listen to this. So are rallies like this making the divide between the police and the community even worse? We're going to ask former Chicago policeman and host of the Steve Wilkos Show, Steve Wilkos himself. Also served, what was it, 10 years as a police
almost
officer?
12.
Okay,
almost 12.
So you got over a decade. You got Marine blood. When you see that video and you hear them saying, "What do we want? Dead cops," what's your response?
I think everybody in that protest, when they're in trouble, they're going to call the police. And they'll call 911, and they're going to want the cops to bail them out. It's disgusting. I mean, you're protesting, and you want, you know, most policemen go to work every day, and they try to do a good job. Nobody wants to kill anybody, and you're talking about killing the police? I mean, it blows my mind.
Sure, but and what about guys like Al Sharpton, whose base of operations here is in New York City?
Not a fan.
Why?
Well, I don't think he does anything to really bridge, you know, like try to make things better. I think he is very divisive and
bomb thrower.
Yeah, well, you know, like I said, I'm not a fan.
Steve, first off, do you believe there's a problem from what you witnessed when you were in and from the guys that you still keep in touch with that are still in with the way the NYPD or other cops treat African Americans or minorities?
You know what? I mean, I can only speak for myself. And, you know, when I went to work every day, I wanted to go and do my job and go home at the end of the day. I didn't want to get hurt. I wanted to make sure I was alive at the end of my shift. And I think most cops are that way. Nobody, I worked, listen, are there prejudices of some police officers? Of course. But I think most cops aren't. They're not racist. They're not, they want to, most cops, you know, 95%, 99% want to go and do a good job.
But they're being portrayed that way.
They're being portrayed that way, and it's a shame. You know, these couple incidents now, Ferguson and the Garner situation, which I think are totally two different situations.
Yep.
And, you know, for people to protest, which I'm all for protesting, but when you start talking about you're chanting to murder innocent people, then why are you protesting? Because you're just as bad as what you're thinking that you're chanting.
I guess it's keeping you safe.
Right.
Cops lining the streets to let your protest take
Exactly.
Right. You know, in terms of protecting other people, you did it for a long time. Jerry Springer was 20. Are you celebrating 20 years?
You were the bouncer.
I've been on TV for 20 years. I was with Jerry for like 14 years.
And the audience,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
You're celebrating that 20 years, and then Steve Wilkos Show. Tell us what we can expect.
Well, my show is just like being a police officer. We cover topics of domestic violence and molestation and things like that. And we've actually, because of the show, we put some people have gone to jail, and
wow.
We've got some serious situations that have been resolved, and I feel good about that because
it's your area of expertise, and also you're you.
It is.
The guy we see in the hallway.
I can only be me. I've never been an entertainer or a celebrity or anything like that. I was a Chicago cop who got a really good break to work on a TV show, the Jerry Springer Show, which was the hugest show at one time.
Well, good at what you do.
Yeah, you know, and I'm very fortunate that people relate to me and to the show. So
genetic, right? Your dad served for a long time.
My dad was a paratrooper in the Army. He was a Chicago cop for 30 years. So.
You know, when I watched the Jerry Springer stuff, and I used to know the producer, and we know Jerry as well. But did you was it understood with the contestants or the people who were called on? You know what? If you throw a swing, it'll make for good TV.
You know what? I never met the guests before until I went on stage, and same thing now.
Because everybody got into a fight.
But if you watch, and I tell this to people, I say if some guy's sleeping with your wife and you're on the show, it doesn't take a lot of incentive for you to go over there and charge and start swinging on a guy. You know what I mean?
But you kind of talk some common sense into them, you'd say.
Did that ever happen on the Jerry Springer Show? That doesn't sound like
They're in a chair. Where's Geraldo?
All right. Great job.
Check the Steve Wilkos Show out. Steve, real pleasure.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Stop by anytime.
Yes.
Usually people charge the set, but I guess you intimidate them. So far we got nothing.
We feel safe right here.